Ballers assemble. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Beats and Balls Show, the alternative sports entertainment podcast about popular culture and the sports that we love. As always, we're not going to be talking about tactics or anything like that. We are sticking strictly to the culture around the sports. This is episode 2 of season 3. I'm your host, JR, and this week I am joined by a friend of the show who actually made an appearance during season 2 when we were all in lockdown. Remember those times? He gave us some quality insights and conversation, so it's great to have him back. Welcome back to the Beats and Balls Show, international wheelchair basketball player and Paralympian, Mr. Gaz Chowdhury.
Thank you for having me.
How you doing, Gaz?
Right? Same old, really. Throwing a ball in a hole from time to time, and trying to stop other people from doing that. But apart from that, no, it's good. Just like everyone else in lockdown. It's been
What's lockdown like in Spain at the moment?
It's not quite as harsh as you guys. We've just got like super strict like local lockdowns. To like travel outside your region, you need like special papers and everything else. But our season started.
That sounds quite strict to me.
Yeah. But locally, it's not that bad. So like you can meet at a restaurant up to 6 people. That kind of stuff.
What if the police don't like your face?
This is the Beats and Balls Show.
In the background, as always, we have our producer, the guy who keeps us all in line. It's Mr. Carl Chris. How are you doing, Carl?
Cool. I'm ready for this show. Bring it on.
So, we are Beats and Balls. We are a sports entertainment podcast, as mentioned. Since the last show, we've seen a few athletes breaking some pretty impressive long-standing records. Now, we all know that records are there to be broken, but there are some where you just look at them and you think, nah, no one's ever beaten that. But from Mo Salah scoring more goals in Europe than any other Liverpool player to Lewis Hamilton smashing Michael Schumacher's record of 91 race wins, these athletes are showing no respect for the old guard sporting records. So we wanted to discuss, what is it that makes an athlete elite and not just exceptional? What separates the 1% from the 99%? To help us dig deeper into this topic, we're joined by another friend of the show who also joined us during lockdown 1, Roger Hosanna. Roger is the managing director of 66-8 Sportswear Agency. He played collegiate basketball in the US, and his son Bryce is currently on loan at Bradford and has just signed a new contract extension with his parent club, Leeds United. Both Gaz and Roger certainly know their stuff when it comes to the intricacies and competitive demands of professional sport. I'm sure you're looking forward to hearing what they've got to say as much as we are. But before that, we're kicking off the show with the socials.
I think the thing that's really been killing it for me this week has been all the post-election memes. I'm not even going to lie. I've been like, the Biden memes are killing me. The Trump memes are killing me. So that's been on sport-wise. Sports kind of taking a little bit of a backseat in terms of memes online for me. You know what's been really cool? I saw this. I don't know if you saw, there was a Kamala Harris meme going around. She came out of like a private jet with like Timberlands on. They've been doing like little cuts of that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's kind of taken over everyone's like social media feeds. I've had to kind of divert my pick for the socials into a TV show, basically, just to kind of get myself off of the internet for a little bit. So the Rap Game UK is back, and so that's my pick for the socials this week. I talked about it last year when season 1 was going down. Since it's come back this year, I feel like the standard is just on another level. Like I could tell kind of early on in season 1 who were the standout artists, and although my favourite to win didn't end up winning, I think he came like second or something. We're deep into this competition now, and I've got no idea who is going to win this. Like, there are just so many. I think everyone is like a standout in their own way. So basically, just to describe the show for those who didn't catch it when we discussed it in season 2, the Rap Game UK is a music competition TV show fronted by DJ Target and Crepton Conan, and the mission is to basically uncover the latest hidden talent out of the UK from a rap grime sort of perspective. I don't know, have either of you guys been watching it?
I've been keeping up to date. I'm aware. I'm down.
I'm not. To be fair, I've just been like snowed under. Well, not even snowed under. I've just been listening to the Giggs album on repeat constantly.
Oh yeah, what are you making of that?
I love it. I think it's the Giggs album that I always wanted.
Is Giggs the one that goes?
But yeah, tell me about the show, please.
Oh, okay. So there are a few standout figures. Well, I mean, I keep saying that, like, they're not standout because they're all like quality. They are, like, seriously. And I feel like they've been tested a lot more this year than they were last year. So they had to clash each other, which they did last year. They've had to make club bangers. They've had to perform with an orchestral backing, like live backing. They've just had to do so many different things and very specific briefs in terms of what their lyrics can be about, what their bars can be about. And most of them have like really shone. There were 2 guys like in episode 1, and they basically both got the same feedback, and it was, you guys are not on the pitch yet. You're barely on the bench. Like, you need to step up. One of them from there quit like the week after, and he just couldn't handle it. The other one has just gone from strength to strength. Like, if I had to pick one that I want to win, it would be this guy Graft. He's just grown in confidence so much, and he's quality at what he does. It just took him a while to get into it. There's a girl, Zones. She's a Bexley girl, and it's hard. She's very, very talented, slightly one-dimensional, maybe. She's sort of down the line, focused, like hard rap kind of thing. And it's hard for her to kind of get out of that. Whereas I feel like there are other characters on there like Graft and Leisha, and I would put Droid in there as well. And like they've got a bit more about them, and they can tailor to the different tasks a lot easier than Zones can. But if I had to choose someone that I want to win, it would be Graft. Although,
would you put money on it?
No, this is what I mean. Like, I want him to win, but it's such an even contest. I can't put money on it. Like, I would have happily put money on it last year, and I'd have lost my money. But I just thought that guy was like...
So don't do it again.
Like, I was confident last year that this guy, freedom of speech, he was going to win. Like, I had no doubt in my mind that he was going to win, and he ended up coming second, I think.
Is that the one that looks like you?
That looks like me? Carl, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Like, the amount of people that have called me, like, Fellaini over the years. Now, I would say those two kind of look alike. I've got the hair, mate. That's it. Even, like, the El Neni comparisons kind of bug me a little bit, but I can kind of see it. But yeah, no, don't go down that road.
But he's tall. He's got a big afro.
Yeah, that's true. But no. Let's not go down this road. I thought I was in a safe space, Carl. All right, let's get into the main topic for today, which Carl has very cleverly called mentality monsters. I don't know if he's talking about our guests directly, but I'll let him wriggle out of that one himself. So before we get into the nitty gritty, let's start off just by asking the big overarching question. Guys, what is it that makes certain sports people a cut above the rest?
Yeah, that's a complicated question. I think first and foremost, they have to have they have to be exceptional physically, obviously. So I think, you know, when you see exceptional people like a like a Ronaldo or a LeBron James. You know, they are super athletes to begin with. But what really takes them over the edge for me, or over the top, would be this idea of mentality. They all seem to have something in common there, which makes them special.
So is that like a kind of ruthlessness?
Yeah, man. Like, I think it's not even ruthlessness. I think, you know, they seem to all have this like insatiableness. I wouldn't even call it ruthlessness. It's like, you know, for the average person, when we look at like the life of a footballer or an elite athlete, and you're like, well, there's a level of like that psychopathy of like, you see in like a lot of different high performing athletes or high performing people in general. When is enough? You know, when is, you know, and I think these guys that are like a cut above the rest, especially in sports which reward people financially so well, they seem to have like a drive which is different to most other people. They're internally driven in a different way.
So do you think that is a primary motivation then in reaching the top elite level, in terms of, you know, you're going to get paid well for it? Or is there a kind of a drive for glory that takes you above everyone else?
I think it's probably like not quite as binary as that. There's probably loads of different factors, right? Like, but I think this, you kind of see it in like all these people that like consistently, continually are able to devote themselves to something over and over and over again, despite being excellent at it, where most of the people might, you know, feel a monotony or a level of like satisfaction. They seem to not be able to get it from something that they've devoted themselves to, and it kind of drives their performance. I think a fundamental dissatisfaction is maybe a driver.
So for the ordinary person, there's obviously a lot of distractions around in the world, especially as a young man or a young woman in the Western world. How easy is it for the elite to get distracted? Because it seems like you're saying, it is just that pure focus. Do you think the temptations ever get...
So I think, you know, reiterating what Gaz has just said, I think fundamentally there's a particular mentality in, you know, these guys who excel at the very top level, but more importantly, excel over long periods of time. You know, just specific to someone like Ronaldo. Yeah, and I've studied Ronaldo, and from a sporting perspective and from a commercial perspective, in terms of, you know, how his sporting prowess translates into him being the branded entity that he is. And so, you know, when you look at Ronaldo, there's a particular personality trait which is consistent, I believe, with any athlete at the very top of their game. So, you know, Ronaldo talks about, he talks about this sort of growth mindset where, you know, he believes, and again, athletes who have excelled over a period of time, they believe that, you know, talent and skill, you know, that's just the start of it. There's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. You know, there's ongoing learning, and there's just continuous effort. So when these guys, when they get to a certain level and they achieve an objective, then they have the desire and the mentality to go again. Now, that's a unique trait, because there's many people with talent. There's many people blessed with ability, but, you know, you look at a common factor in young sports people at the top of professional games. is, they break on the scene. They do really